Hey everyone, we're going to dive into what might be the single most important concept in tech right now: AI agents and agentic workflows. See, we all think we've seen the AI revolution, but what if I told you the real shift, it's just getting started? This isn't just about talking to an AI anymore. It's about an AI that actually does things for you. So, think about it for a second. We've all had a blast playing with chatbots, right? You ask a question, you get an answer. It's been pretty incredible. But what if all of that was just the warm-up act? Seriously, what if the main event is an AI that doesn't just know stuff, but actually does stuff? Well, that's exactly where we're headed. All right, so let's get into it. To really wrap our heads around where this is all going, we've got to be super clear on the difference between the AI we've been using and the AI that's just around the corner. And you know what? It all boils down to one simple idea: the difference between knowing and doing. Okay, so picture a large language model, something like GPT-4, as this super smart talking encyclopedia. I mean, it's got a whole universe of information packed inside. You can ask it, hey, write me a Python script, and boom, it gives you the code. But then, that's it. It just stops. It's on you to copy that code, run it, and fix all the bugs. But an AI agent? Well, an AI agent is that same encyclopedia, but now it has a toolkit. It doesn't just give you the code, it runs the code for you. So what are we really talking about here? Let's get a bit technical for a second. The formal definition is that an AI agent is an autonomous system that can perceive its environment, make decisions, and take actions to hit a specific goal. The two words that really matter there: autonomous and actions. We're talking about giving the AI, agency, the power to make its own choices and actually act on them to get a job done. So how does a regular old LLM get this superpower? It's all about the tools. You basically hand the model a digital toolkit. Now it can search the web for real-time data, stuff that's way newer than its training data. So an agent could, say, search for the latest stock prices right before it makes a trade. It can read and write files right on your computer. And this is the big one: it can execute code and plug into other apps using APIs. That's how it can do things like book a flight for you or, order a pizza. And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of this whole thing: what we call agentic workflows. This is where it gets really, really powerful. The AI expert Andrew Ng, he recently laid out this brilliant framework for how you go from just writing a simple prompt to building these complex automated systems. He broke it down into 4 key patterns. And trust me, if you want to understand how this tech actually works, these 4 patterns are what you need to know. Okay, so what are they? They are reflection, tool use, planning, and multi-agent collaboration. Let's break down what each of these means, because this is basically the blueprint that turns a simple chatbot into a real autonomous worker. First up is reflection. Now, with a normal chatbot, you ask something, it gives you an answer. That's it, end of story. But with an agentic workflow, the AI gives an answer, and then it immediately starts critiquing its own work. So imagine you ask it to write some code. Before it even thinks about showing you the result, this little inner loop kicks in, and the agent starts asking itself questions like, wait, is this code efficient? Did I remember to handle all the weird edge cases? It literally finds its own mistakes and fixes them on the fly. And that self-correction loop, it makes the final result so much better. All right, pattern number 2 is tool use. We kind of touched on this before, but this quote really nails it. Think of it like a human with a smartphone. We are smart, but we are unstoppable with Google Maps and Uber. That's the perfect way to think about it, right? An LLM is already smart just from its training, but it becomes practically unstoppable when you give it tools like a web browser or a way to run code. It's all about extending what the AI knows and connecting it to the real, live, messy digital world. Okay, number 3, and this one is maybe the most mind-bending, is planning. See, you can't just give an agent a huge goal like, hey, build me a portfolio website, and expect it to just spit out a mountain of perfect code. No, it has to create a plan. It has to break that big task down into smaller, manageable steps. It'll actually reason, okay, step 1, research popular design themes. Step 2, choose the right tech stack. Step 3, write the HTML and CSS. And finally, step 4, deploy the whole thing to a host. It does one step, looks at the result, and then figures out what to do next. It's actually thinking ahead and changing its plan as it goes. And that brings us to the last and honestly the most powerful pattern: multi-agent collaboration. I mean, why settle for one AI agent when you can have an entire team of them? In this kind of setup, you literally create different agents and give them jobs. Just imagine a software team made completely of AIs. You've got the coder agent who writes the first draft of the program, but then you have the reviewer agent whose only job is to check that code for bugs and say, hey, coder, this is a mess, you need to clean this up. It sounds a little weird having AIs talk to each other, but this kind of role-playing creates this incredible feedback loop that just pushes the quality way, way up. Okay, so we've seen these 4 patterns that let AI agents do some pretty complex stuff. But let's ask the big question. Why is everybody in tech talking about this? Why does this actually matter for, everyone else? The answer is, this is a fundamental shift. It's a whole new way of thinking about how we use computers and how we automate work. Think about the evolution here. In the past, we had chatbots. It was simple. You ask, it answers. Right now, we're in the age of copilots. Think GitHub Copilot, where you're working with the AI as a partner. But the future that agents are unlocking, that's full-on autonomous work. You're not working with it anymore. You just give it a goal, and it works for you while you go do something else. Okay, but let's be real for a minute. There's a catch, and it's a pretty big one. This technology is still very, very new. Agents can get stuck in endless loops, they can make up steps that make zero sense, and they can make some really critical mistakes. I mean, if you tell an agent to delete all the old files, you would better be 100% sure it knows exactly which files you mean. So right now, there's a trade-off. We're trading a bit of reliability for a huge boost in speed and automation. And that's why this next point is so, so important. The human-in-the-loop approach is absolutely essential right now. The best way to use this today? Let the agent do like 90% of the grunt work, the research, the coding, the first drafts. But then a human expert has to come in for that final 10%, to approve, to validate, to give it that final sanity check. That way, you really get the best of both worlds. You get the incredible speed of AI with the safety and judgment of a human. All right, let's wrap this up with the 3 key things you need to remember. Takeaway number 1. AI agents are just LLMs that we've given tools to and, more importantly, the power to take action. Number 2, agentic workflows are the clever ways we get them to do complex things by having them reflect, plan, and work together. And finally, number 3, this whole thing marks the big shift from AI that just talks to AI that actually works. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. If you had a perfectly capable AI agent right here, right now, what's the very first task you'd give it? For real. Would you tell it to finally organize your inbox? Build that app idea you've had for years? Plan your next big vacation? Really think about it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.